Can I ask you something? When was the last time that you actually sat down like you used to in your childhood and did one of your hobbies? It could be singing, playing an instrument, doodling, sketching, going out to play cricket or badminton, going out for a run, craft, dance, anything at all? And if it wasn't so recent or whenever it was, let me know how long ago was it in the comments. But this is also like a reflective question for you to actually notice the gap between your present and when was the last time you actually let your talented self come out and create something or just do something that brings you joy, that does not have any outcomes, that does not have any deliverables or KPIs, that does not have any measuring points to hit, where you just let time flow, you let your inner child be happy, where you allow yourself to flow and do something creative. For me, it's been long. And I also want you to let me know in the comments what are all the hobbies that you can think of that you were good at as a kid, or even, you know how that thing is going on around, jack of all trades, master of none? It's fine. List down all the trades, all the things that you used to just enjoy doing as a kid. You may not have been very good at it, but it brought you joy. It could be if you sang for a whole month at a tone-deaf note, it's fine. But what are these creative hobbies that you used to indulge yourself in when you were a kid? And how many of those are remaining now that you actively practice? And how long has it been when you last indulged in a hobby? If I were to share you about myself, answering the 3 same questions that I've asked you to answer in the comments, let me know, I'm reading. But for me, when I was younger, I was into dance, singing, art, sketching and drawing, craft, and then I got into poetry. So like in 4th grade, I was the host on a mic for 2-3 events. And I just loved public speaking. And yes, I used to play a lot of badminton. I used to play a lot of outdoor games with my colony or society friends. I used to cook a lot with my mom, trying new fancy fast food recipes at home. I used to bake with her. And I had this zeal that I would be coming home after a really tiring day from college, and if I want to have dumplings for dinner, I would make the dough from scratch. I would make the filling from scratch. I would literally make the fancy dumpling shapes, not just do something but actually skilled dumpling shapes. I would steam them, I would make the sauce, and then I would sit and have the dinner after a long day from morning to evening. I remember it was 8 o'clock, 7:30 when I felt like, nah, I want to have dumplings, and I didn't want to order. So from 7:30 or 11, I remember, I sat down to eat with my K-drama at 11 o'clock that night. And it just tasted different. But now that I stopped doing, I live here and I struggle to cook. I don't know, it's just, and it's not just me, because I'm seeing these posts online where a lot of people are feeling that life got so serious that they stopped doing this hobby and that hobby, and so many people are literally saying that. And literally, life got so serious, I stopped dancing. Life got so serious, I stopped playing my guitar, that I learned by myself in 10th grade. And so the video, like this video that I wanted to make, is because you need to give your inner child, the little you, a chance to revive. You need to give yourself that chance. I know life has gotten a lot serious. The external world is crazy. And you know, with the rise of AI, and our entire home feed is full of this content that literally rings this bell of urgency in your head, that there's this skill to learn, there's that skill to learn, they are making so much money, this 19-year-old guy is a millionaire and he's teaching you about manifestation and spirituality, and then time management, and build these systems, and the business, 1-person business, and AI to learn. There is so much noise that you will always be in this hamster wheel, trying to learn new things, trying to watch more self-help videos, trying to just catch up. And the thing is that you need to give yourself time to cut out all of that noise and just sit with your hobby, one or the other, and just let time flow, because you deserve that. You have been running and running for long enough now. I'm not saying that you don't have to anymore, because We have to keep going till we hit our goal, until we reach our destination. But that does not mean that you cannot have checkpoints. Even in a trek, in the most ambitious treks, there are, the base camps, there are halt points, and you're just not letting yourself have one. What you are thinking subconsciously or consciously is that when I'm going to plant my flag on that mountaintop, that's when I can finally rest. And so I do not deserve these halt stops, because that means procrastination. That means I'm not serious enough about climbing to the top. How can I let myself rest? How can I sit and eat Maggie at this halt stop and enjoy the view when I've got to go at that mountaintop and plant my flag? There are these other people who are going to do the same thing, so I have to rush. I have to go there before anybody else gets there. Or even if it is, if you have maturity, you'll be like, okay, some or the other person will do it before you. And so even if you think that, okay, I'm at my own trek, so I'm going to do that at my own pace, but I do not deserve this halt spot right now, you're doing yourself such a big disservice. And that is also silently a major reason why you feel drained, why you are feeling anxious, why you're irritable, why you don't feel content or satisfied, why you just don't feel at peace or joyful at all, because you're not giving yourself the room to breathe. And so this video is to tell you that give yourself time to breathe. I'm not saying you should sit and procrastinate and watch some show on a screen. I have been a big K-drama lover, let me tell you, but I've just stopped seeing K-dramas lately because life got so serious. I've watched many K-dramas because they're just so beautifully made, and like the story and the hooks. Okay, moving on. But now, when I thought about it, I was like, of course, that is crazy behavior, but I was like, I cannot believe how much time I wasted in watching K-dramas where I could have learned this skill, I could have fixed this area of my life, I could have, invested in something better and stuff, which is 50% right, but 50% wrong, because that I was struggling, like we all were struggling in our teenage, in different areas of our lives, okay? And so the thing that brought your younger self peace and happiness at that particular point of time when they were struggling with other things, you do not have the right to be mature these many years later and then bash them for it. You do not have any right to bash your younger self for it. That, oh, she could have done better. And like, how could she waste so much time? Then you're just being another non-understanding elder that your younger self struggled with at that age, at that point of time. You getting what I'm saying? And so there's no pride in not letting yourself rest because you're equating it to being serious about your goal. You're actually sabotaging your goal yourself by not giving your own self time to breathe in this very moment. And so, if I talk about myself now, I could have invested the time that I spent watching dramas in learning something better or reading another book, sure. But that's the maturity that I have now. The me then was more focused on just staying afloat, was just surviving, and to not give in to the hard emotions such as anxiety or depression and things like that. And if that kept her afloat, I am happy for her. And you should be happy for your younger self as well. You're bashing your younger self for wasting time. What are you doing now? You're wasting time as well with, like, okay, if they wasted time playing games outside, you are doing something worse, which is just scrolling your time away, which is more pathetic if you want to put it that way. So if you think that that was wasted time, check your screen time, okay? And so if you choose to have 1 hour every evening to go outside and play cricket or to do art or to play that instrument that's catching dust in your room, then that is not wasted time. That is you letting your soul and yourself breathe, to revive, to replenish your energy that you're otherwise spending very nicely on your goals. But you should also give yourself time to breathe. And I realized this when I saw that all these hobbies that I used to have, that I used to be really good at, are just fading away. And recently, I used to write a lot of poems, and it is my younger self's dream. It's still a dream for me right now as well, to publish my poetry collection, because I do believe that it is one hell of a collection. And even if it is not so to others, it is to me, it is to my younger self. And so when I have the opportunity, I would love to formally publish my poetry collection. But then recently, I've stopped writing as well for a long time because life got so serious. And so, but that dream, that thing is still at the back of my head somewhere. And so just yesterday, I opened this old Google Doc from 2023 where I organized all of my poems in literally a book format with the heading on the top, the page numbers, the structure of what I could think back then. And when I read my poems back to back, when I read it back to back, I was like, it was mind-boggling to me. And I literally went, I wrote this. I couldn't believe that it was me who wrote that. The vocabulary, the composition, the feelings that were flowing through the lines, it was crazy. And it's not something that I have been able to do lately. So my younger self was definitely much better than me now. And so just to read you some, I have it here. Wait, okay. This is from the other book, but I have it on my screen here just to recite a few to you. This is my first time reciting my poems because I always just write it and I read it in my head. So I may not be that good at recitation, but I'm practicing. I'm lying. This is my first time reciting it. That's what my point is, that do something for yourself and get back to your hobby, please. So, it's good that I'm still guarded, for my heart is still not ready to be awarded with the feeling of being discarded. For that's what happens the most in this world. In other words, you call it use and throw. And so I now choose to not let this happen, for I'm done keeping my head down low. I can feel my kindness decreasing, a friendly heart that I used to be proud of. Gray people, my heart seizing. I'm starting to understand what the good people were deprived of. Reverse kindness it was. Multiple kind efforts, but still a connection loss. Good people spread around kindness, but the same is generally reciprocated not. Another one here is, I'd call myself an overfeeler more than an overthinker. Well, not that I don't think, for my thoughts definitely reach the brink. But I guess this is the hidden quality of overthinkers. They often tend to overfeel, resulting in longer time periods that subsequently take to heal. Oh my god! Okay, another one. Scribble, scribble in my mind. Tell me, what's your purpose here? What more should I pay you with? It has already cost me my peace, taxed with the only bonds that were dear. What more will you take to just go? With my receipt of new fears, I ask you to take back what you gave me. Please do not come any near, so I can escort my heart back to safety. And this one's called A Deal with Overthinking. I was really battling with whether should I be the kind person that I am or not, because it was never reciprocated, and that really reflects in the poems that I've written here. But I'm actually glad that I held on to the art that I was gifted with, because I wouldn't be able to talk in my videos the way I do had I lost my kindness. Like this one, you can spread your kindness, but not everyone will acknowledge you. You can go around being a good friend, but not everyone will reciprocate that to you. And this one's called Draw a Line. So I really do have good belief in the poetry collection that I have, and more that I will form over time. So this is my poetry section, where I used to write a lot, so beautifully, in my eyes at least, that now when I look back at my old poems, I feel like, is it really me who wrote them? The second one is, I used to draw and sketch a lot. My sketching is literally extinct. I don't sketch anymore. I don't draw anymore. The third one used to be singing. I used to sing well, which I've been insecure about all my life because I was teased at school. Now it sounds like a small experience, but that literally hurt my, not self-confidence, but my inner child so much that I couldn't sing in front of people till now. And this happened about like 8 to 9 years ago. And that's why now as an adult I feel like kids really don't realize what they're doing to other kids and what that kid would have to deal with in their adulting phase because of these childhood wounds. So yeah, singing, I have a lot of recordings and I've been praised by my near and dear ones that I really sing well. And if I may say so myself, I would just hum and sing. And when I would record it and listen to it myself, again, I wouldn't be able to believe that it's my voice. Not to boast or be delusional right now, but genuinely. Then about guitar. I have a guitar and I was obsessed with the instrument when I was 16, and I taught myself how to play guitar from YouTube. I remember it was my 10th grade board exams. 2 months before the boards, I was just sitting. For me, 11 p.m. used to be really late back then, even to me. And purely out of dedication and love for music and the instrument, I used to sit till 2 to 3 a.m. in night, every single night. After dinner, when my parents would sleep, I would be in the other room practicing guitar in a very low volume so as to not disturb them. But yeah, till 2, 3, I would be learning chords and, placing my fingers on the fretboard and practicing chords all by myself. And that used to be me. I played a lot of songs and stuff. And now it's just catching dust. My singing has also deteriorated a bit, as I can actually see every time I try to hum now. It's not as melodious as I used to sing like. And then outdoor games, of course, are extinct because I just exist here in my apartment and I do not feel like going out anywhere. I'm being really completely honest over here. And that's why while I was healing and dealing from this myself, I thought of you, that I need to make this video wherever and at whichever point I am, because I know we're at a similar journey and I'm probably only just a couple steps ahead of you, because I can pinpoint the feeling, I can pinpoint the mistake that we're doing. I can see how it's affecting our lives. I can see how it would change our life if we started making time for this thing, how we would be more happy and more fulfilled and in a better headspace if we started making time for this. And that's why I thought I should really just make a video and with my own example tell you that we're in this together. And I've never been the type of friend to just personally grow myself as much as I can and not care about the other person that I call my dear friend. And so I've always been the well-wisher, the let's grow together kind of friend. And that's why I'm making this video, so that the both of us grow together and we reach the top together. Make some time to do what you love and focus that it should be screenless. Make sure that it is screenless. And you would be having a lot of hobbies, or just one is enough. In people, in hobbies, just one is enough. So give the little you a chance to revive and come to the surface again. And the solution that you're looking outside is already within you. Your savior is not anybody else externally, it's you yourself, the adult you and the younger you. Think about it and let me know how it went. I'll see you in the next one.